In his quest to strengthen his midfield, Mikel Arteta has his list of targets. So despite Yuri Tielemans looking like his favourite, could Arsenal pay a visit to Lyon instead, with a potential transfer for Lucas Paqueta? Is William Saliba set to sign a new contract? Has Serge Gnabry rejected a move to Chelsea? And is Thomas Partey back in training? Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Bavs14 and welcome back to your boys channel. I am very happy today because I have just come back from meeting Super Jackie Wilshere at the premiere for the Arsenal Inside Hill End documentary. We have got so much to discuss, so smash a like if you enjoy, subscribe if you are new. Let's start off with the transfer news and Lucas Paqueta. He excelled in Brazil at the start of his career. He moved to AC Milan in 2018-19 for 35 million euros. Didn't quite work out in Italy and then moved over to Ligue 1 in 2019-20. As things stands, he is one of the most in-demand attacking midfielders in world football, and it looks like the player wants to move away from Lyon. As reported by L'Equipe, Lucas Paqueta has asked to leave Lyon, and the club will allow him to do so if they receive a sufficient bid. He's done well in Ligue 1, but as many players do, they want to move on into, I guess, more competitive leagues, and the league that Paqueta has his eyes on is our league in the Premier League, and there are quite a few clubs that have genuine interest. In fact, according to the president of Lyon, Jean-Michel Aulas, he has confirmed to Go France that Lyon have received offers in the last week for Lucas Paqueta. The one that stands out straight away is the brand new Saudi-owned Newcastle United. These guys not only have the finances but also have long-term interest in the player. In fact, they tried to sign the player back in January. But alongside the Geordies, we also have to mention our club in Arsenal Football Club. As Ben Jacobs says, the Arsenal are interested in signing Lucas Paqueta, but no bid has been made. Lyon will let Paqueta leave, but Jean-Michel Aulas still wants at least 65 million euros plus add-ons. Back in January, he said he'd hold out for 80 million euros, but is now being told the price won't be quite that high. Now, we've been here before, Interest FC. I'm sure that Arsenal have many players in Europe they have a lot of interest in, but are they going to firm up their interest, especially for that price tag of 65 million euros? It's a hefty price tag. Jacob says that contrary to some reports, Newcastle haven't made an offer either this window, with both clubs feeling that Lyon's valuation is too high. Lyon say they've had offers, but no evidence of a formal bid yet from any Premier League club. Arsenal are more likely to get a full buy-in from Paqueta before proceeding further. It seems like Arsenal are learning from the race of Rafinha and Lisandro Martinez, and in both scenarios Arsenal were closing into agreeing a fee until other clubs entered the race, and with the personal terms not being fully agreed, it has allowed the likes of Barcelona, Chelsea and Manchester United to come in and swoop in for these players. So in this case, it looks like Arsenal want to agree the personal terms and understand if Paqueta actually wants to move to the Emirates Stadium, and if they receive the right answer, then potentially we might see the Gunners make an offer. Even according to the reliable Reyes Simplicio and Thiago Fernandez of Go Brazil, Edu Gaspar has already spoken to the players' representatives, and the Arsenal will look to make an official offer for the player. It looks like this is once again a case of Edu Gaspar, his contacts with Brazilian players potentially coming in clutch and helping Arsenal maybe make their first official offer. Now, the price tag is massive, and I'm sure that so many fans will have their own opinions on if they want to see Arsenal sign this player. But first things first, I think it's very important that we fully understand the type of player that Lucas Paqueta is. Last year for Lyon, he primarily played as an attacking midfielder and an out-and-out number 10, but also has played games as a number 8 and in central midfield. And here is his attacking radar template from last season. Despite scoring 13 and getting 7 assists, Paqueta does have very good defensive numbers, a very good pass efficiency rate, and seems like a pretty decent all-round midfielder. There are some stats that stand out there, but the context behind that is comparing him to all of the attacking midfielders in the world, and if Arsenal were to sign him, well, he can play there. I'd expect Mikel Arteta to play Paqueta a lot more in a number 8 type of role. In fact, according to Mediafoot in France, Arsenal are likely to view Paqueta as an option at left central midfield in Arteta's preferred 4-3-3 system, but his flexibility will present them with a series of exciting options in terms of how they can line up. With the signing of Fabio Vieira, another left-footed player very similar to Paqueta, there are quite a few similarities to Vieira and Paqueta, which makes me kind of weary if Arsenal need this player in the first place. But it looks like Fabio Vieira is far more of a competition for Martin Odegaard on the right side of the midfield. On the left-hand side, where Granit Xhaka isn't quite that number 8, Arteta wants to add to his midfield, and Paqueta could be an option. But comparing him to another Arsenal target like Youri Tielemans, it's not quite as similar, as Paqueta is a lot more attacking, and maybe it indicates that Mikel Arteta wants to move into a far more attacking and fluid 4-3-3, and maybe you could see a case of Arteta looking to replicate the 2017-18 Man City, not only a team that Arteta was a part of, but a team that got 100 points and broke the record for the Premier League. They had the likes of David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne to attack-minded midfielders anchored by Fernandinho. But with the signing of Lucas Paqueta, could you see Arteta play maybe a Thomas Partey as a 6, Paqueta as a left 8, Odegaard as a right 8, and maybe it indicates the why Arteta is so desperate to sign an inverted left back rather than a Kieran Tierney who is far more attacking. And then you could have a case of 2 inverted fullbacks on the right hand side and left hand side, giving far more license to roam for the likes of a Paqueta in attacking midfield. Despite of that, what are your thoughts on Lucas Paqueta potentially to Arsenal? Let me know down below in the comments. Moving on to Youri Tielemans, as Freddie Paxton says, Arsenal have done a lot of work before the summer window opened with Youri Tielemans, and they have a deal in place with the player, but at the moment not with the club. The deal is not dead, and they might come back into it later this summer. On Tielemans, we've heard that time and time again from Ben Jacobs, now Freddie Paxton and Fabrizio Romano. Yes, Arsenal have agreed personal terms, but thus far haven't made their first offer. But I think the massive question here is, what exactly do Arsenal need? Is it that hybrid number 8 profile like a Youri Tielemans, or a far more attack-minded player like a Lucas Paqueta? Moving on to Rafinha, as according to Ben Jacobs, Barcelona and Leeds United have reached an agreement for Rafinha for 75 million euros. Ultimately, it looks like the player's desire to move to Catalonia has come out on top. Rafinha has always made it very clear that his priority was to move to Barcelona, and it looks like he's going to get his wish. I think he's a decent little player, and maybe 50 to 55 million euros is payable. But for 75 million euros, listen, if Barca want to pay that, then so be it. But I don't think he's worth anywhere near that, and ultimately, when Barca fans ask questions of why their club is broke, potentially this is an indication to why that is the case. But keeping it on the wingers, what about Serge Gnabry? Well, according to Matt Law, Chelsea are interested in Serge Gnabry as the club consider alternatives to Rafinha. Just like Arsenal, Chelsea are also missing out on their targets, and it looks like they have interest in Mr. Serge, but the player himself, according to Florian Plettenberg of Sky Germany, has been often told that a move for Gnabry to Chelsea is a no topic due to Gnabry's time at Arsenal. It's kind of obvious that the player is preferring a move to Arsenal over Chelsea. He's always made it very clear to the media that he's still a massive Arsenal fan. He's posting photos in Arsenal shirts, and in fact in an interview back years ago, he actually claimed that if he was to return to the Premier League, that Arsenal would be his prime destination. So when you hear the price tag of £40 million, the fact that the player most likely is definitely available, he wants wages that Arsenal could offer, and a price tag that Arsenal could pay. The question is, why aren't Arsenal making a move? And honestly, I can't answer it. Is it all about Arsenal not wanting to break their wage structure? Potentially. But my friends, what do you make of Serge Gnabry being available and Chelsea reportedly having interest? Moving on to the future of William Saliba. Last year he thrived at Marseille on loan, he made it into the Champions League, and it's hinted on many occasions that he might want to stay in France. But since then he's given an interview confirming that he wants to return to the Emirates Stadium. Mikel Arteta has also confirmed he wants Saliba a part of his squad for next season, and in terms of today, the player reported back to London Colney for the first time in a very long time, accompanied by his agents. And then Arsenal themselves confirmed the return with a photo of Saliba back in training. But very interestingly, they have not showed Saliba's number, but here's where things get a little bit more interesting. Alongside his agent, an Arsenal fan has also spotted that Saliba's videographer was also spotted at the training ground filming the Arsenal badge, the same editor that made the infamous video back in 2019 of Saliba's initial arrival at the Emirates Stadium. It looks like he is cooking up another madness, but is it for a brand new contract extension? As William Saliba's agent has also posted a video of what looks like him being in the Arsenal contract signing room. There's something that I can smell right now, and it smells like a brand new contract for William Saliba. Saliba also used the number 2 in an autograph that he signed for a fan outside the ground. All of this evidence is pointing towards a brand new contract for William Saliba, and that would be gargantuan because this is one of the most in-demand centre-backs in world football. So if Arsenal could renew his contract and put to bed any rumours of him leaving the football club, then alongside Benny Blanco, Benjamin White, Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba, those 3 centre-backs there, dare I say scary hours might be about to begin. Alongside Saliba, you also had a video of Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey arriving at London Colney. A lot of fans weren't quite sure if that was Thomas Partey because of the blacked out windows, but up stepped the Arsenal detectives who were able to confirm via the number plates that this is indeed Thomas Partey's car. As it stands, there is a lot of speculation surrounding Thomas Partey, none that has been confirmed. Him not travelling with the Arsenal squad to Germany, it caused a lot of doubts. This is the first that we have seen of the player since those rumours started, so I guess it's a positive. Whether it's anything more to it, we're going to have to wait and see. You've also had the brother of Partey repost the Instagram post that Partey posted with the caption of "Don't run away from the challenges, run over them." You also had the agent of Partey, I think, retweet a photo of Arsenal players back in full training, so I'm not sure what this all means. There is no confirmation, it is all just little rumours, little hints. With the Arsenal squad set to travel to the USA on Wednesday, we're going to have to wait and see if Thomas Partey is involved in that squad. Fabrizio Romano on Lisandro Martinez says that Manchester United have no full agreement with Ajax for Lisandro Martinez. The new bid is worth €50 million, but it is still not enough yet. But talks will continue as Lisandro wants to try a Premier League experience this summer. So you're telling me that Man United made the offer of the price tag that Ajax set, and yet still it is not enough to convince Ajax to let go of the player? Well, we also have another twist. As confirmed by Mike Verwey, they are now asking for an offer of €60 million. Bearing in mind that Arsenal's first offer was around £25 million. Ajax now want close to £50 million outright there and there. I don't think Lisandro is worth that sort of money. He is a good little player that if Arsenal could sign, yes, it would be amazing. But for that sort of money, when Arsenal still need a wide forward and a central midfielder, spending £50 million on a left back, centre back, defensive midfield, versatile profile, good player, but I don't think he's worth that sort of money. But if United are willing to pay €60 million, then you know what, so be it. Moving on to the other Arsenal news today, and starting off with our left back from Portugal in Mr. Nuno Tavares. According to L'Equipe, Marseille see Tavares as a priority transfer target this summer, with the Marseille president working on a loan deal for the player, with it being likely that a deal would include an option to buy. So Marseille are pressing to sign Tavares, and I think Arsenal's price tag they set earlier in the window is €40 million. Ultimately, it is a very hefty price tag, and I don't think Marseille are going to pay that. So maybe a loan transfer where you get a loan fee and an option to buy for €25–30 million. I think that's a far more acceptable deal for Arsenal Football Club. And finally, according to David Ornstein, Arsenal are understood to have Kyle Walker-Peters on the list of possible targets if they look to bolster in the right back position. Kyle Walker-Peters is, I think, 24 turning 25, has a vast amount of Premier League experience, and I understand that the report there says as a right back, but last season the player actually played a lot more games as a left back. So with Arteta liking the versatile profiles and Walker-Peters being of that profile, for the reported price tag of maybe €30 million, it looks like Arsenal are considering, but I don't think he's Arsenal's main target. He's a far more attacking fullback, and if Arteta wants to play, an inverted fullback, I don't think Walker-Peters is of that profile. But as always, when David Ornstein reports a target, as Arsenal fans, we have to keep an eye out. But anyways, that's the video there and there. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and if you have, don't forget to smash a like and subscribe if you are new. The winner of the brand new Arsenal home kit will also be announced this week, so if you want to win that, don't forget to follow me on my Instagram. But that was today's episode of the Transfers FC, and it looks like that a lot of things are happening at Arsenal, but as a fan I would love some announcements, some official news, and maybe some brand new signings. Until then, take care of yourselves and in a bit.